Alright, we're going to run this Prism match one more time, because I want y'all to see that this deck does have some potential to stop its weaknesses. Alright, so let's see what we've got here. We're going first, and this is not a great hand to be going first with. It's okay, though. We're going to go ahead and swing. We're just going to swing the good old Romping Club. Pitching away the pulping. And what we're going to do is basically be setting up so that our next turn is much stronger. We'll put the pulping in Arsenal and say go. Here we go, right out the gate with Herald of Erudition. So in this particular case, I either have to block with a 6 or take some damage. Sorry, let me check an email real quick. Make sure. Okay, just making sure. Just have some meetings and whatnot today for work, so I'm just checking I wasn't missing anything. So I can throw the 6 in front of it, which is perfectly fine. Or I can block it normally if I wanted to. So my choices, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do the Barrage and Bighorn while I have the chance to. And say pass. He's going to make a new action point. But what is he going to do with the action point? Nothing. It's very interesting because the computer is very smart about getting rid of cards, even though they don't need to. It's very interesting to watch. Anyway, let's just go ahead and try to clean up this hand a little bit. I'm going to swing the club using the Reckless Swing. I want to keep a Reckless Swing for the end of the game. So you don't really want Reckless Swing at the beginning because you're only doing 2 damage. It's not really very meaningful. So later in the game, we want that Reckless Swing to come back around when we've hopefully got your opponent down to 2 life. He wants to play an Ode to Wrath. Alright. Ode to Wrath. Oh, and a Herald of Protection for 7. So, good old 7. We'll go ahead and answer that 7 with a 6. Just shut that down. Alright. So, we can go ahead and do this pulping if we want to, which I think we're going to do. Let's go ahead and barraging. Let's go ahead and play the pulping. I don't want to target the Spectra. No, I don't want to target the Spectra. There we go. Alright, so we have conditional go again. He has to block with 2 cards. Or we have go again. And if he lets us have the go again, I am going to attack the Spectra and get rid of it. So, okay. Is he going to play a defense reaction? Yep, he is. Going to block it out. Alright. So because he blocked it out, I can't go after the Spectra. But the Spectra's... The only Spectra that's really annoying for us is the Merciful Retribution. So, until we see that card, not really stressing. Alright, he just Ode to Wrathing us for a potential 2 damage. I'll go ahead and let him do the 2 damage, that's fine. Perfectly fine there. Alright, let's try to get some Rio damage going. We're going to play a Breakneck Battery. Pitching this Pummel. Do I want to target the Spectra? No. I just want a 6 with go again. That's going to also trigger my Beast Within. And we got a Massacre. Nice. Nice. So we'll be able to come in with... We could technically come in with the Massacre for 8 with another Intimidate. So we got a 6. Player 2 is passed. We're going to pass. Go ahead and pass again. Okay. They're going to play a defense reaction. Okay, that's fine. We have to go again regardless, so I'm not really worried about that. Then we're going to go ahead and We can Massacre or we could Savage Swing. I think we're just going to Massacre. Gotta Massacre, my boy. Let's go. Target Spectra. No, we're going to send this 8 at their face. They may have to block with 2 cards or eat a bunch of damage. Looks like they're going to eat some damage. Now, Prism does have a lot of no-block cards, so it could be they don't have the second card to block with. So they're going to be taking 5 here. And we're going to go ahead and Arsenal the Red Savage Swing. Red Savage Swing is actually very underrated. A lot of Brute players don't play it because it's a card that requires an additional discard, but it only costs 1. And that's the main reason I play it, is because it only costs 1. Okay. Any instance? Nope. We're going to block with this. We've got another strong turn coming up. I was hoping the Prism would put up a little bit more of a fight, but that has not been the case today. We've kind of been walloping on them. Okay. Now we're going to be able to get rid of that Spectra this turn. So we're going to go ahead and pitch, discarding a 6. I got 6 would go again. Okay, we'll go ahead and pass. Pass attack reaction, defense reaction. Perfectly fine. I'll let that chain link resolve. We'll go ahead and activate our tunic counter. Swing the club at the Spectra. We'll finally get rid of that thing. And then we'll say go. I mean, we're ahead, so why not get rid of the Spectra while we're ahead? Okay, another Herald. Herald of Ravages. It's only for 5 damage, but I don't want the cascading effect of them getting a soul, them getting some spectral shields, and being able to block things. So we will break the Phantasm. They're going to pay the resource. Coming in with a War Tune Herald for 6. Don't have a really good, ideal hand for attacking. So I think what we do this turn is we barraging into our Romping Club. Efficient, keeps cards in the deck. Makes them have to overblock, overcommit. And sort of the game plan here is to make your opponent overcommit over and over and over until they can't play anything. Alright, so this is going to be a nice turn because we're going to have double intimidate, triple intimidate, big damage coming in. Alright, so let's get some damage in. We're going to play Red Barraging. We'll play Awakening Bellow, pitching the Barraging Beatdown. Then we're going to finally play the Savage Swing from our arsenal. And we're going to be able to replace it with whatever the next 6 in our deck is. So this is a 13 that they can only block 1 card with 1 card. So they're going to take a nice 10, solid 10 damage. Put a pretty good card in arsenal. And say go. This is the Herald that's hard to block. So we get a -1 on our attacks, so none of my attacks currently can pop the Phantasm. And it's a 7 with go again. One of the few cards I would not like to see. Now I could block with Savage Swing, a Reckless Swing, sorry, and Swing Fist Think Later. Or I could hold them all and go for some bigger plays on my turn. let's pass. Let's let him have it. Let him have it. See what he's got. Making a Spectra. Pinging this for 1. Yep. Ping is for 1. We're fine with that. And Arsenal. Okay. Alright. So far, so good. Swing fist, think later. That's right. That's how we roll around here. We're brute players. We swing our fist and we think about it later. Alright. So, blocking 3. Gonna take 1. I don't know that it's really worth to waste this Arsenal card yet. I think what we do is we go Romping Club and just conserve our Beast Within for another turn. So let's go ahead and swing Romping Club for 5. They're going to block with a 3. They're going to take 2 more damage. Now we are kind of in that kill range. So if you've watched some of the other videos, we are in the kill zone of we can kill them in 1 turn with the correct hand. And we might have just drawn into that correct hand. So we're going to see how it goes. We're probably going to block nothing they do this turn. Because in the grand scheme of things, it does not matter. Attacking for 6, that's fine. And we're going to try to do 12 damage this turn. Which we probably will be pretty close to doing, if not being able to do it. Okay. One thing I do want to try, well, I don't know if it's worth trying right this second. Because rolling on Scab Skins in this deck is, like, not ideal. Let's see what we draw first. So we're going to play the red Barraging. We're going to pop the Tunic to play the Bloodrush Bella. Discarding the Beast Within. Perfect, perfect. We're going to get 2 more cards out of it. And like I said, this is probably going to be game or pretty close to game. So we can still pitch 3. So right now we're attacking for 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So he's got 1 armor. So that's pretty much game on board. So I don't even have to use this bellow. Or we can, of course, get greedy and go for more. But I don't think we're going to go for more. I think we're just going to end it. Put the poor guy out of his misery. Attacking for 15. My math was way off because I forgot the +2 from the Bloodrush Bellow. So another Prism game. That one was, they didn't get enough. The thing I think that you need to win as Prism against Brute in particular is you really need to get a specific card combination back to back to back to back. Like if you can get your Herald of Triumphs to hit multiple times, especially if you can get like the red Heralds together, or even yellows together, and keep playing them back to back to back to back, and then, you know, Brute can't do anything about it. That's when you're going to get some momentum against Brute. Another thing you can do is switch to Pure Auras, which I don't know if Pure Auras is really, it's good against Chain, but it's not necessarily good against other heroes in the game. So something to consider would be, you know, playing those or not playing those. But the auras, I feel the aura build is probably better because you're playing more of a control game, but you're really not getting any damage in, so you can't expect to win through damage. You can kind of play a fatigue game at that point. But it's hard to block. Once again, a lot of the aura strategy uses a lot of cards that don't block. So if you can't block, not sure you can win the game. It's kind of hard to win with Prism against Brutes. But now it's probably easier to win against Levia than it is against Rhinar, because Rhinar is immune to all the light-specific targeting things that target Shadow Heroes. But anyway, that was Prism versus Rhinar. And I'm personally, I am hoping a lot of people play Prism going into Orlando because I would love to get some wins like this. Some of my easiest wins at Road to Nationals was some Prisms. I actually had a Prism drop a library, and this deck has library, but I put it in the sideboard because you don't want to drop library against Rhinar. You saw what I had in my hand. A few of those turns I had double yellows, and I would get the 5-card hand against my opponent, and they would just not get a turn. So do not drop a library against a brute. That's for sure. All right. Well, we're gonna move on to another deck. Go ahead and post another deck. So see you in that one.